Hello and good morning. It's so freezing out here. I think it's below zero, so it's quite cold. However, I do have a rather frosty subject to cover today. Rather cold and alarming, and that is all over social media and Facebook. You got videos and pictures of Kanye West riding on a donkey. This guy claims that he's met God, and the first thing that he does when he meets God is first decked himself in the apparel of Apollo in all silver. And then he went on to, I think it was a few months later, did a satanic concert. If that was not enough, he then went on to turned up at church riding on a donkey. The worst thing about it, he fell off the donkey. He fell off the donkey. But he ended up attending church on a donkey. Now that is crucial to note because in his album, Jesus is King, what happened to Jesus? He rode on a donkey. So who really was Kanye West referring to in his album when he said Jesus is King? What kind of tongue-in-cheek humor was he using against the gullible and vulnerable and docile brainwashed Christian church? Let's look at the evidence closely. If you ever studied Kanye's West history, he always had a Messiah complex. He's always mocked Jesus Christ. In all his albums, even in one of the magazines, he perceives himself to be Christ, crucified, wearing thorns on his head. And then he did his poor Daniel's trick. He did what the famous magicians are good for, and that is he spun magic on people's minds. He doesn't refer to himself directly, but he has you thinking about it. Hence, it's parallel. Look at his albums, look at his pictures, his magazines, where he sees himself as the Messiah. And then suddenly, just like they mock the second coming, suddenly he builds you up with this mental frenzy. And then suddenly his album comes out after his fake conversion. Jesus is King. Who was he referring to? Let's look at the evidence. He then goes to a church riding on a donkey. This is a rich, very wealthy individual riding on a donkey. And the whole church went off into a rapture, went off into tongues. They had no problems. Can you imagine the disciples riding on a donkey? The people would know, the early church would know what that signifies, mocking their Messiah. The same parallel that he's been doing throughout his music career. But the problem with Christian psychology, they don't understand satire, they don't understand humor, and they don't understand when the world is mocking them. There's easy money to make in the Christian world, easy money. A lot of musicians who fake, and who fail in the world, all you have to do is fake conversion and the Christian world will buy your album. In fact, one of the oh, who was his name? I've got the book somewhere, where they pretended that they were involved in Satanism, etc., and God rescued them, and they made money, and it turned out to be a fraud. They made money. So Kanye West had to recycle himself. That's what artists do. They recycle themselves like Madonna, forever trying to stay in the public eye. Kanye West found a genius way. He was trying to show you who he really was. He was trying to demonstrate to you the kind of games that he was concocting. He was trying to tell you, but the worst about it, we couldn't see. From his history of mocking Christ, this history of blatant blasphemy. And then he rides on a donkey to show you, look, the spirit behind him. But guess what? The Christian world on Facebook, don't judge him, don't judge him. God knows what's in his heart. Don't judge him. Look, before you start to thumbsuck these texts, don't judge. A pastor that was grooming children, the same Christian world says, don't judge him. He's saving souls. I repeat, a pastor that was grooming children, the same Christian denomination, I use the word Christian quote unquote, because Christ says, not all who call me Lord shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. And when you look at the context why Christ said that, when you look at the context, you will see when people are protecting these kind of wicked and perverted individuals, when they say that he's saving souls while having sex with women and abusing children. He's saving souls. This is the church psychology. This is what they resort to. However, Kanye West, don't judge, because we don't know what's in his heart. And this is why they embrace all these sexual deviation. They embrace all this filth. Don't judge, because you don't know what's in their hearts. And this is what it's become. This is what it's now become, a knocky shop. Anything goes, no matter what it is, because you can't judge. Joel Austin and T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar, that's the philosophy that they built their wealth on. That's the philosophy that tell people what they want to hear, and you'll become a very, very rich person. Don't judge. Tell them they'll be rich and you got plenty of money waiting for you in heaven. Don't judge. I'm just taking a walk down here. And indeed, we shouldn't judge. Why? Because we don't know the heart. Hence, when Kanye West have a history of persecuting and mocking Christianity, we shouldn't judge him. Why? But I don't want to fall down this quicksand here, this mud. Right? This is dangerous stuff. Right? Why? Because we don't know what's in his heart. And this is a modern day contemporary progressive. Oh, this is dangerous. Oh my God, I don't know if I should walk through that. Oh wow, this is dangerous. Right? This is a modern day gospel. It's almost a satanic gospel. You know, if you ever read Anton Savan LaVey, the Satanic Bible, it was a mockery of the revealed truth of God, but from a satanic angle. And this is the same way they're going with this new age Christianity. Don't judge. Anything goes. If you call yourself a Christian and it works, then shh, be happy with it. And the Christian world thumbsuck Kanye West. I don't know what's wrong with the church. I don't know what the hell's wrong with us. But this guy is a con. He's a fake. The mere fact he went to the Vatican to meet this Pope, the architect of child abuse and institutional corruption. And who did Kanye West went to see? Joel Austin. He didn't go to the poor. He didn't go to India, where Christians are being persecuted. He didn't go to North Korea. He went to the Vatican and he went to meet Joel Austin. What the hell does that tell you about this man? But still, don't judge. We shouldn't judge. And this is the downfall of what's going to destroy the Christian world. Bring your crook foot. Anything goes. Bring it into the holiness. Bring it to the holy sanctuary. Pervert it and pollute it. Don't judge. It makes me angry. It makes me quite cross, because you know what they do. The hero worshipping. Like, Kanye West is nothing more than a glorified cult. No different to Jonestown. That's how all these Africans got killed in the first place. Because what they do, they follow Jonestown. These cults, they go into your brain and they start to rewire it, and you're not following God anymore, you're following man. And this is what's happened with Kanye West. The guy went into the church on a donkey. If you look at his history, look at his past, you know he's playing games, and he's running for president. We're falling for it. Well, you're falling for it. I'm not falling for it. I have spiritual eyes. I can see what I've been blinking on. But a lot of people can't. As long as you tell them what they want to hear. This is a gospel of greed. As long as you tell people what they want to hear, they'll snatch it up. And that's the reason why a lot of politicians has become nothing more than glorified preachers. If you want to be elected, pretend you stand for everything. Pretend anything goes, no matter what. You stand for single parenthood, you stand for this, you stand for that. Why? This is the way the world is going. Tell people what they want to hear, and you'll be loved, you'll be accepted. So now, this is what's happening now. You don't judge Kanye West. Why? For the simple reason, I don't want to feel isolated. I want to be accepted. Even if it goes against the grain, even if it does not make sense. And would you believe, when this guy came on the scene, I warned people. I said he was a con man. I warned people, and I was persecuted for it. And do you know something? Yet again, I've proven myself to be right. I told you the guy was a con man. I studied law, okay? I have a legal, paralegal qualification. I've studied law, so I know how to look into people's past, into people's history. I know how to join the dots. That's my legal background. And I knew that guy was a fake. But people wouldn't have it. Give him a chance. Yet, I've proven myself to be right. What worries me is when it comes out 2 years from now. When it comes out 2 years from now, they'll take some other con artist. You know, that's how people's psychology works. They reject one con artist and they'll take another one. You know, but in the end, this guy is hoodwinking people. He's putting the wool over people's eyes. He wants to run for president. He's met the Pope. He's nothing more than a glorified magician, casting spells on people, on people's brains. Then he turns up on a donkey. Wake up, you're being fooled.